we're driving today is the 2016 Chevrolet Silverado Heavy Duty 2500. It's an all-wheel drive variant. Now, of course, no EPA ratings, but it does come equipped with the 6.6 liter Duramax turbo diesel. It's good for 397 horsepower, 765 pound-foot of torque. And the unique thing about it, since emissions is in the news as of late, is it uses a slightly different DPF regen. First, it has cool EGR and SCR with DEF. That's kind of a standard for today to meet emission specs. But it doesn't use post-injection, which can cause dilution issues like some of its competitors. It uses a separate injector into the DPF. Power? Yeah, it does. 0 to 60, about 8.6, 8.7 seconds, plus or minus 0.4 on either end. Efficiency, we'll have to say it was pretty decent. Now, we have experienced more efficiency in the Ram 3500 with the Cummins in the 6.7 liter mated to its 6-speed, and we've also seen more out of the Ford Power Stroke with its 6.7 liter turbo diesel. But it did well. With the DPF regen between LA and San Diego, came in at 23.4-ish, and with an all-highway run yesterday, came in around 28.5, a little bit short of its competitors, but competitive enough. Now, what you're going to be thinking about this one for is its 13,000 pound tow rating in the 4x4 with a 373 rear end ratio. Of the big three, this one is one of the most reliable, and that's why it's purchased in the quantity that it is. It's a tough truck. First thing you're going to notice is this really interesting dual power dome hood creases. Very interesting, and you know, it matches the Ram. I think it does a little bit better, and of course that makes all the difference there. The Duramax chrome badging. Moving into the chrome portion of the grille, there's a lot here. It's still very flat. I'm not going to say it's great, but it's interesting that they have the thin lens upper and lower, high beam, low beam fogs. I wish that they'd have made them a little thinner and kind of wrapped them around the hood edge. Moving lower into the front bumper face, you see the wide opening for the transmission cooler. You'll look at the standard tow hooks, and then really cool beneath, they have a chrome type trim piece just above the lower diffuser and air dam. I do like that. Moving to the profile of the 2016 Chevrolet Silverado Heavy Duty, we've got some interesting little features here. First off, it's not a chrome daylight opening surround, but just along the lower sill. Chrome handles, although there's not a proximity key, that's unusual. Chrome folding mirrors, and those are trailer towing for the heavy-duty package. And then we got 20-inch chromes. Now, they look nice, but standard 18s. I'm not going to say anything but add a little bit of aesthetic. High country trim badging around the lower front door. And then you got this nice chrome strip across both doors in the lower rocker panel area. And then the lower step assist. What's most interesting, however, is this beefy truck-like extended fender flare. I think that really adds some toughness to the truck, and that's both front and rear. Two of the most interesting features which I find about this truck. One is the integrated step bumpers. I can't tell you how many times I've stepped on the Ranger and slipped and caught my shin on that damn bumper. And then two, part I probably like the best, is a damp tailgate, helping both down and one-handed operation going on. The bed, the first thing you're going to notice is the standard top rail guards all the way around, including the tailgate. That's going to save you some dents and good looks for long term to come. Moving inside, that's a 6'6" bed with about 61 cubic foot, standard spray-in bed liner. Really, really tough stuff here. We see some interesting features here. Now, we got a 6-gauge cluster package here under the hood. What I actually like is this 4.2-inch display in the high country, is you got a lot of options here. From info, audio, phone, navigation, and options. But from Trip B, but we'll just run through some of the information here. The wheel is leather wrapped. The entire interior is all this saddle brown for the high country. I kind of like that. Now, soft touch arm sills here. I really think that is the way of the future. We've got to get these softer, and of course Chevrolet includes that, like that. A leather-like insert, leather padded armrest, and it is very padded. Single contrasting white stitch, moving into hard plastic below. The surrounds are kind of cheap hard plastic, but all auto up-down windows, and they're backlit. Chrome handles, 2 memory settings for... Now, I'm all the way back, and I can barely reach the pedals, and I've got a 34-inch inseam. This is pretty incredible. And I've got the power pedals up. That's quite unusual. Again, looking now back into the top of the dash, this surround is kind of cheap plastic, although tactile feel for the lighting intensity and the on-off underneath the directionals. Directionals have a chrome inlay. That's pretty nice. And again, that single-stitched saddle brown high country trim theme following all the way through the dash and the instrument hood, all the way across. And it's all soft touch. That's really excellent. Getting an infotainment system, I think they made some compromises here. Instead of going piano black around the outside like many do, they went with a different color plastic. I wish they'd used the Honda Metal Flake piano black so it doesn't get fingerprints. But again, it looks good enough. You get into the surround of this. This is the 8-inch screen. It's optional, and inside the high country, it's standard, I believe. The only issue we had with infotainment is when we did have USB connected to one phone and we were Bluetooth audio streaming with another, it would not pick up the Bluetooth audio stream if you set that up second. So you have to set up the Bluetooth audio streaming first, then plug in the USB to charge the second phone. Another thing on our first drive, the infotainment kind of got glitchy. For some reason, I couldn't control anything through the screen. All I had was my back of the wheel controls here for volume, and then for tuning on the presets. And that is all I had. But after a restart and reboot it came right back in. Not too bad. Its claim to fame is not only the cool toggle switches, foot, you can shut off your stability control, your lighting into the rear bed, which is excellent at night. You have a lot of safety features in this, including lane departure, but this one in particular. Now, when you're coming up close to something, you've got video indication from the rear, and you've also got vibration in the seats in this safety-equipped high country. Anytime you approach something, it's going to warn you, and I can't tell you how important that is in a big truck when you're trying to back into something, and you just don't know how close you are. These systems really do work, and they set you up for success. Exhaust brake you can use if you're towing and you're coming down the mountains, and you need that. Home screen. Now, this is going to have Android Auto. It does have, I believe, Apple CarPlay now. We couldn't use the Android Auto because it's not quite set up for that yet, but pretty soon it will be. Another set of cool features, dual USB ports, 12 volt, and then a 120 volt outlet for charging laptops, etc. And boy, did I use some of that equipment. Now, what most people are not going to be using is a 2-liter cup holder, but I thought this was kind of interesting as it holds pretty damn well. Standard cup holders here. Another unique feature, and one I really like, and I think it's the best offering that we've used yet, is this QI smartphone wireless charger. Just set it in and forget about it. The phone doesn't get too hot. It charges like it's supposed to. It doesn't matter if it's twisted around in there as long as you don't have anything underneath it. And it just does what it's supposed to. Previous OEMs that we've used either got the phone too hot, didn't charge, did all kinds of stuff like, you expect and charge, you see it, and then 20 minutes later you look and nothing was going. So this is the best one we've used yet. Pulling that off, and here is a real claim to fame. That's 1 cubic foot of storage, and you can store a full purse. Take a look at Marion's pick. Huge center console, very, very comfortable in this truck. I mean, really comfortable. Moving up to the headliner. We've got a nice cloth textured headliner, but it goes into a plastic A-pillar covering here. And I'm not saying that's bad, it's kind of standard because it does have the grip rails for getting in and out from this very, very tall truck. Just wish that was cloth textured for something in this price class. Sun visors, standard lights, vanity mirror, and telescopic, and they cover all the way. Standard fare there. Now this one has this optional sunroof, so you can tilt or you can slide it back. I thought that the lights were a little bit shallow. They have a cone to them, but nothing like a standard map light that we've seen in the past. I kind of wish they would go back to that. And I love sunglass holders, but what I like about this one is chrome inlay. Is that cool or what? I like chrome. I like chrome a lot. Moving to the back. Some really cool things back here, but let's start with the door trim. Now this is hard plastic on top, unlike the soft windowsill up front. Not that anybody's going to be using that anyways in the back. Chrome handles. That vinyl leather-like insert, High Country Seattle Brown, looks good. Same kind of stitching. Soft padded armrest, like that. Auto up-down windows. Surrounds are okay, and then the plastic wood inlay. It looks good. Hard plastic blow. Bose system audio sounded great. Moving in the back, take a look at this. Now I'm going to use one hand. Is that utility or what? It just works. Fantastic job, Chevrolet. I really like that. No handles, no levers. You just lift, stow. Pull down, you're ready to roll.
Prices driven came in at $66,425, which included the High Country trim, Duramax turbo diesel, driver alert package, power roof, power folding and heated chrome trailing mirrors, cargo box lighting, and the $1,195 destination handling charge. Drivetrain a B-. The Duramax is extremely powerful but falls behind its heavy-duty competitors' real-world capability and efficiency. It may be the most durable, and that is a huge consideration for a purpose-built work truck. Exterior an A-. Of the big five heavy and light-duty offerings, the Silverado looks better from most any angle. The step bumper and damp tailgate put it over the top. Interior a B+. The High Country trim places it well within the same appointment levels as a mid-priced mid-size sedan, yet is more comfortable due to the taller seating position and multiple adjustments. The front heated and vented leather 12-way power seats with dual driver memory makes it a joy to drive. It is quiet between 40 and 65 miles per hour, but above and below that range, the Duramax wind up and drone overwhelms interior sound deadening qualities. Chassis a B. The new electro-hydraulic steering assist offers considerably improved steering feel. Considering the F-Series Super Duties with up to 4 degrees of steering slop, the Silverado HD is far easier to drive. The crew cab's 51.5-foot turning diameter with the 6'6" box is not for the faint of heart. Torsion beam up front and 2-stage leaf springs out back. Flat ride and only slightly stiff. Wish it had the Ram's air suspension, but reliability would have been compromised. Take it off-road and you will pay dearly. Safety a B. The safety alert seat is da bomb. Get close to something when parking front or back, or if it thinks you're going to collide with something ahead at speed, the seat vibrates violently and gets your attention right damn now. Where it falters is the NHTSA 4 or 5-star crash test rating. The IIHS did not rate HDs, so we have nothing on that small overlap. Infotainment a B-. The glitch in equipment setup order hurt in that regard. It will be interesting to compare the 16 Silverado HD to the upcoming 16 Nissan Titan XD, which we will be driving in just a few days. On paper, the newcomer appears to come in a bit short, but we'll have more on its capabilities in very short order. And that concludes the summation of the 2016 Chevrolet Silverado HD.